In today's video, I am going to explain bony anatomy of foot and joint anatomy in foot. In first part, I'm gonna explain bony structures. Let me explain from this big bone. This is tibia. Tibia is not part of foot, however, it's important to understand for joint structure, which I will explain later. Tibia, big bone. Beneath tibia, this is talus. This is talus, very irregular shaped bone. Beneath talus, this is calcaneus, very big bone. See that? It's very big, humongous bone. Now let's go to superior view. This is talus, this is calcaneus. Let's go from medial part. This is navicular. This is in front of talus, okay? Navicular. In front of navicular, there are three bones. These bones are cuneiform. And this is medial cuneiform, intermediate cuneiform, and lateral cuneiform. Let's go to lateral part. Again, this is calcaneus. In front of calcaneus, this is cuboid. Okay, cuboid is on lateral part. Navicular and cuneiform are on medial part. In front of cuneiforms and cuboid, there are metatarsal bones. Metatarsal. Then in front of metatarsal bones, there are phalanx. Phalange. Phalanx is singular terminology. Phalange is plural. Okay, multiple numbers, right? Well, this is a basic foot anatomy. Basic foot bone anatomies. Tibia, talus, calcaneus, navicular, three cuneiform, cuboid, metatarsal bones, and phalanx, phalange. Now let me explain joints in ankle and foot. Again, this is tibia. There's joint between tibia and talus. This joint is tibiotalar joint. Tibia, talus, tibiotalar joint. Very simple. Now, beneath talus, there's calcaneus. Thus, there is joint between talus and calcaneus. This is subtalar joint. Sub means inferior, below, beneath, right? Subtalar joint. It's simple, right? Now let's go to superior view. There is joint line here. This joint line is kind of between talus, calcaneus, and navicular cuboid. You see this joint line? This joint is called transverse tarsal joint. Transverse, kind of horizontal line, right? Transverse tarsal joint. This joint is also known as Chopard joint. Chopard joint or transverse tarsal joint. In usual anatomy books, they show this joint only from superior view. So in today's video, let's see this joint from inferior view. Calcaneus, talus, navicular, cuboid. This joint line is transverse tarsal joint, Chopard joint, okay? Now there's joint line in this area, cuneiforms, cuboid, and metatarsal bones. You see this joint line? This joint line is called tarsometatarsal joint. Tarsal bones. Tarsal means basically this part of foot. Tarsometatarsal joint. This joint is also known as Lisfranc joint. Lisfranc joint. Again, this one, transverse tarsal joint, is Chopard joint. This one, tarsometatarsal joint, is Lisfranc joint. Okay, Chopard and Lisfranc. Let's go to anterior part. This is metatarsal bones. This is phalanx, phalange. This joint between metatarsal bones and phalange, this is metatarsophalangeal joint. Metatarsal bones, phalange, metatarsophalangeal joint. Now last part. Of course, there are joints between toes, between phalanx, phalange, right? These joints are generally called interphalangeal joint. Interphalangeal joint. Then there are two parts, which is close to center of body. That is called proximal interphalangeal joint. Plus, it's far away from body. This is distal interphalangeal joint. Let's review joint. Tibiotalar joint, subtalar joint, transverse tarsal joint, which is also known as Chopard joint, cuneiform and cuboid, metatarsal bones, this is tarsal-metatarsal joint, which is also known as wrist flank joint. Metatarsal bones and phalange, this is metatarsophalangeal joint. Joint between toes, joint between phalange, this is interphalangeal joint. Proximal interphalangeal joint and distal interphalangeal joint. I know memorization of anatomy is very hard at first time, but once you get over basic, there's fun world is waiting for you. There's fun applied anatomy, advanced biomechanics of joint. It's very fun world. If you liked today's video, please hit the like button, comment and subscribe. See you next video.